colleagues who weren't able to join us today. We will also post the deck that the team will be walking through, and there's also some additional content that may be of interest. So Alan, as he wraps up the day in a couple of hours, we'll make sure that you have a QR code to get to that content. We'll also send you a thank you note in the next day or two that has links to the same. So don't worry, everything we share today, video deck, will be available to you after we're done. I know 4.5 hours is a long time. We are going to take 2 breaks, so there is time built into the schedule just to take a pause. Prasanna is going to share a preview of the agenda right after Chris Leone makes his opening remarks. So if you give us a little bit, we'll get into the detail of how the morning and the afternoon will flow. And then one last housekeeping, just from a Q&A perspective. If you would add any questions you have in our time together in the Q&A section rather than the chat, we have a team of folks who are going to be answering questions live on Zoom during the session. We also have a little bit of time allocated at the end of the session to get to some of the common FAQs. My guess, if we get to 5,000 folks and all of you have questions, we probably won't be able to answer every single question that comes in today. But rest assured that we will make sure that any question that's submitted gets documented into an FAQ, and we'll get that out to you all as well in the next week or so. So hopefully you are all as excited to get started as I am. I want to hand it over right now to Chris Leone and let Chris set the stage for today's training. Chris, over to you.
Great. Hello, everyone. Let's go to the next slide. I just wanted to set some context. We have a lot of great presenters today, and we're going to be going through AI Agent Studio in some depth, but this is just the beginning of your journey. I can assure you that this release of AI Agent Studio that is coming out in July, so not too far away, has probably been tested, banged on more than any other application in the history of at least the software that I've been involved in delivering. So it's going to come, exceptionally well tested. But let me go through what we're talking about here today. So really, this is the beginning of where agentic AI meets enterprise applications. And I wanted to set the context of what that really means. So what we're delivering with AI Agent Studio and all the agents that we're delivering is they are truly Fusion native. And you'll see this as we go through the session, and I'll give you a little context on what that means. But we are basically putting an AI agent integrated development environment on the surface of Fusion applications. So it has access to all of our business objects. So these are all of the public and private OpenAI compliant REST services, all of the roles in our application, all of the workflows, understands enterprise structures, all of the things that you would expect is available. And so all of that context makes for building these super extremely rich agents very, very, very easy. And you'll see that as we go through the sessions. The other part that makes it part of this merger of AI, agentic AI, and enterprise applications is the entire security layer that we have. So all the access that you provide to your agents, whether they're working in conjunction with a person or in an autonomous, triggered autonomously and running in the background, they maintain all of the security that we have in place, all the functional, all the data level security, and I'll give you more detail on that, but all of that is in place. So one of the key things that you'll see throughout, and the difference between what the external agent frameworks are and what we're really building with AI Agent Studio and the agents that we're building on top of and integrated into Fusion, the concept of these are built in and not bolted on will become very, very clear as we go through this session. Next slide. So just a few things, and I'll go into just a little bit more detail on these just quickly. AI Agent Studio and all the agents that we're delivering are built into the enterprise applications that 15,000 plus customers are using today. So huge customer base that will now get access to a whole new type and way of building automations into their applications. Some of the differences that we're providing versus some of the other vendors in the industry is this is not moving all your data out of Fusion applications into a separate environment and being able to make recommendations. This is built directly into Fusion applications, allows you to take immediate action, update, and you'll see not only do you can get information, you can post information back, and we'll get into more details. Huge advantage is there's no hosting, there's no added infrastructure, really no hassle. You get access to the AI agent framework studio, you get access to large language models, and customers can get started immediately. So huge value proposition there. Fusion Native takes on a whole new meaning. I'll explain what that means, but really huge differentiator, makes everything dramatically more simplified, and gives our customers, our joint customers, the confidence to be able to build on the same platform and the same framework that they're used to. And the great thing, and the reason we have over 4,000, 5,000 people that will show up for this call is we're going to be able to solve problems that we never could solve in the past. And so it's a whole new world that we're entering into, and this is just the beginning. Next slide, please. So just a few things to realize and to look for as we go through this. When we build these agents, they're completely context aware. So you're going to be able to pick up user session information to understand the context of a particular user. All the business objects are available, all the security, all the roles, all the business context and business rules are there and available. So just hugely differentiated. You don't have to build that context in on a separate platform. It's all included as you're building out these agents. They can drive. It understands our enterprise structures. So this is something that I talk about. So if you're you have an automation that you're building that cuts across order management and inventory and maybe planning, you don't have to think about, am I using the right unit of measure? Does that hold true as I'm going from one business process to another business process or one task to another task? When you're working inside an enterprise AI agent framework, all of that comes as part of the application itself. It's not just individually handpicked APIs. You're working in an enterprise structure framework of a broad enterprise application suite. Real time, this is a huge differentiator. Not only can we read, can we make recommendations, but we can also take immediate action. And you'll see that as part of the transactions that we can deliver on. Enterprise security, this is going to be huge for our joint customers. All the security is built in. So something to continue to look for, all of the functional data level security. We even have layered agent level security. So you can give agents, your users, access to specific agents where it makes sense. So ton of security, as well as our audit framework is there as well. So we can see who has made changes to a particular agent. So all of that is absolutely core requirements for enterprise AI. No data duplication. You're not extracting all the data out of Fusion, sticking it in a data lakehouse, and then resetting up security, resetting up all the enterprise structures. It's all available as part of Fusion. And large language models are included. So this allows you to get started immediately. So we ship Llama, all part of OCI infrastructure. We also support OpenAI. So you'll see the models today that you'll be seeing are using OpenAI 4.1. 4.1 mini with generous limits. There are some limits. It's a premium model, but all of this gets included so you can get up and running very, very quickly. Next slide, please. We will have a partner certification. So, one of the things that we've been asked for and is a number of certifications. So you will be able to take a test, get certified right after this session. We have something that you'll be able to do, and we have more training that will be available. So we'll talk about more of that training as we go into the future, but the first one is coming out very, very soon, and AU is delivering for us. So next slide, please. So this is a partner call. So thank you, to our partners. We couldn't do, this is a great partnership that we have with all of you. Huge opportunities for partner monetization, meaning, customers need to learn how to build agents, how to deploy them. We're delivering a lot of agents out of the box. You'll see that with predefined templates. But there's still a lot of work that needs to go on to make sure that they're meeting customer demands. They have the accuracy level that you want. So ton of investment that needs to happen there. We're going to talk about a partner marketplace in just a second, but the opportunity for you as partners to innovate, bring your own industry best practice knowledge to the table, create your own agents, put them in the marketplace, sell them to our customers. You have a huge opportunity to build a whole new class of AI agents. We're going to have evaluation services as part of the application, but this is a process that customers need to understand how to perform. So being able to define evaluation processes, define accuracy rates. We'll talk about some of that as we go through this session. We're going to be open. So we're going to ship large language models, but you have the ability to bring your own large language model to this framework. So if you have a vision model or an industry specific model, or you want to fine tune a particular model for a particular customer and bring that in at the supervisor level or at an agent level, you can do that. So tons of opportunity to kind of innovate around AI Agent Studio, which is truly an IDE and allowing you and our customers to bring the next level of innovation to applications. Next slide, please. And something we're talking about, and if you're interested in being part of the conversation, we're going to be working on a partner marketplace. Huge opportunity, and being able to, we're going to seed a lot of these templates, and you'll see a lot of these, so customers can get jump started. But we're also going to allow partners then we'll have a process to test them, make sure that they perform, make sure that they're using the right amount of tokens, all the things, and the accuracy level is there. But an opportunity for you to ship your own agents as part of AI Agent Studio in a marketplace area, branded with your partner organization on there. And we'll get into more details on this, but a huge opportunity. We see this as the ability to build a whole new class of applications and allow you to take a leadership role in that. Next slide, please. And then I'll just end with some practical advice. So we actually have a hackathon that's going on inside Oracle right now. The entire Fusion application development team is participating. We have over 4,000 people that are banging on AI Agent Studio and building really cool agents. But one of the things that I'm going to tell all of you is there's tons of agent different ways to build agents out there. There's hierarchical agents, there's swarm agents, there's agents that hand off from one agent to another. There's there's sequential agents. There's all these different types of agent frameworks. What we've delivered in the first release is hierarchical agents, single agents with tools, agent teams. Work within the framework that we've delivered. You'll get a tremendous amount of value. You can deliver a ton of capabilities that our customers will love. And we'll add more capabilities going forward. We have sequential agents coming with a ton of capabilities and more deterministic ways to build some of these agents. But a ton of value can be delivered with what we have and what we've enabled. You have full access to Fusion. So you're going to see as we go through this. So you can post, you can patch, you can delete. We have batch capabilities. All of this, you have the full surface area of Fusion applications to do a ton of work. And you can optimize these. You can add additional descriptions on top of the open API spec that we delivered. So the large language model can make sure that they pick the right tool or the right business object. So we've built in a ton of capabilities to make the agents that you build richer and more accurate, and all the things that we wanted our customers will demand. We have the ability to create dynamic deep links throughout, so you can deep link to any page within Fusion applications dynamically, so huge. We support external integrations. Now, in the first release, we're supporting OAuth 2.0. We're supporting basic authorization. Really nice framework to go connect to third-party applications. And we'll add more security protocols as we get into future releases. But a ton of capabilities are delivered here. And as I said, work within what we've delivered. You will be able to deliver a ton of value. It's coming very, very quickly. In the July release, you'll all have access. You can start building agents from scratch using our templates, being able to deliver value. And in the next 3 months, you're going to get a whole new set of frameworks as we deliver sequential agents, more observability. A lot of functionality is coming extremely quickly. And we want your feedback. So as you go through this session, We'll have more training in July. That'll be totally hands-on. It'll be a 3-day training event. We definitely want your feedback as we go. It'll help us make this platform better. And we have our best technical experts working on this platform. So what you see today is an incredible amount of development work. I'm super proud of the team, and it's going extremely, extremely fast. So your feedback will not only come quickly, but it'll get into the product very quickly as well. Last slide, and I'll hand it back. We also want to spread the word. So I've seen a lot of fantastic posts on LinkedIn, on X. Everything that you're seeing today is public information. So there's no private. You want to take screenshots, you want to post it out there, you want to send a message out about how excited you are, favorite part of the session, somebody you particularly liked the way they presented or went through things. Please feel free to share. We do want to get the word out for our joint customers to see how much innovation we really are driving across Fusion applications. So we'll show this slide a few more times. We're there to support you, and we'll like and give comments and reshare your post to get you visibility, but also to get AI Agent Studio and what we're going to be building together, the visibility that it really needs. So with that, have a great session. I'm going to hand it back, and thank you, everyone, and looking forward to the feedback.
Thank you, Chris, for getting us started on such a high note. Let me share my screen again. Really quick, let's talk about the schedule we have lined up for next few hours. I think next we'll start with the overview of AI delivered across Fusion apps, as well as introducing the Agent Studio. After that, we'll spend an hour with the deep dive, looking at the features, core concepts in the Fusion AI Studio. We'll take a quick 10 minutes break, so you get a chance to grab a coffee or stretch. And once we return, we'll explore the real world AI use cases across various pillars, starting with HCM, followed by supply chain, CX, and then ERP. In terms of quiz, I think we're going to take a call. We may keep on throwing few questions in between the segments. You just heard Chris talk about the certification exam. So I'll highly pay attention to these questions, so you guys get prepared for the certification. Towards the end, we'll address few questions live, and then we'll conclude with final remarks. We have all-star lineup today, featuring experts from our AI product management, Fusion application development, Center of Excellence, and partner alliances. In addition to that, we have members from our development and strategy team on the panel. So please don't hold back, keep them busy, ask your questions through the Q&A chat, and we'll do our best to answer them as we go. With that being said, I'm going to hand it over to Kaushal to get us started with our very first topic.
All right. Thanks, Prasanna. Let me share my screen. All right. Thank you very much, Chris, for starting off. And there's tremendous amount of excitement, as you can tell, with AI agents. And we'll look in a little bit into what agents are here and the kinds of agents that are there, and look at how you can sort of build agents, right? This is a capability overview session. We will progressively get into the various layers of Agent Studio. You'll get a deeper and deeper understanding as you go through today, the rest of the 3 hours. And what we'll look at it here is a very high-level overview, introduction to the concepts, introduction to the tools and that are available, and get a high-level bird's eye view of the roadmap. Then we'll also look at what is included and what is the value customers and partners are getting out of the box, and versus the concept of custom AI and so on. So that's what is in store for the next 30 minutes. So first, to set a little bit of be on the same page in terms of the vocabulary here. AI agents and agentic AI is the buzz. You couldn't have missed it if you read any news. So what are agents, right? We let's take a brief definition of how we look at it. Agents have agency to begin with, meaning just like human beings, they can interpret user goals, they can decide how to accomplish a particular task, they can create a plan given a higher level objective, they can take action, they can call tools. I think that's one of the significant differences. They can call a variety of tools within Fusion, you'll see, and also connect to external tools if needed, and operate within this business context. And that is all built into Fusion and achieve task automation ultimately, and achieve really complex tasks that are really never before possible, and also new things that we are hoping that customers and partners will innovate and deliver, solving complex workflows. So agents will really bring this automation, task automation, and workflow automation that we've all been looking for and kind of being promised for a long time. So that's kind of the ultimate utopia of AI agents, and we're getting started on this journey, and we'll show you what the tools we have are to deliver those agents. So we're framing this in the context of a variety of ways agents can be thought of, right? If you look from left to right here, there are simple agents and generative AI services which allow you to interact within the workflow, within an application. The agent or the generative AI service is embedded within that workflow itself. These are things like you would be able to generate a quick summary of a particular thread that you're reading, or a quick summary of a particular object, or a particular order or inventory, or whatever the case may be. Or you're generating a response very quickly to probably an incoming sales email, or generate a first draft of a employee's goals and things like that. So they are very quick and to author, and you get a lot of benefit out of it immediately out of the box, and what will save you tremendous amount of time. What used to take a manual amount of effort, and saves time there. Now, the next level up is answering, right? So agents which take into account a particular piece of business context, could be a document, could be a conversation, and so on, and offer guidance, recommendations, and answer questions based on that. It could be a knowledge base-based article, it could be a benefits document, and so on. Now, the final level in that kind of journey of agents or spectrum of agents is really agents that can act on a variety of things. And these are the kinds of agents that use tools. They use really the business context to the fullest extent, and they work in teams. There's the concept of an agent delegating tasks to other agents to get things done. So we'll look at that sort of supervisor and worker hierarchy. And those are agents which can take action. All of this is possible. We can assemble all of these agents in the Agent Studio. And that's what brings the power of all of these agents to you and to our customers, where you can assemble in a low-code, no-code environment any of these agents and take advantage of all the myriad tools that we have to deliver real innovation. So authoring agents are seamlessly sort of integrated into an application experience. And like here, it's shown here, you can leverage the Fusion data context and generate a summary or a recommendation or a piece of content that's generated by these large language models. And we use a variety of large language models, as Chris already pointed out. They could be Llama and Cohere, which are hosted in OCI, or integrated with OpenAI models as well. And we'll see some examples of this. So there are a variety of agents that we are already shipping as part of this. A simple thing could be, I want to set a goal. An employee sets a goal as an individual, or a manager sets goals for employees. And based on a simple prompt, it can generate a particular set of goals, right? And that could be a first draft. You can still edit it and you can finalize it, but it's a first draft which generates within seconds, what would have taken you a few minutes or probably an hour. In sales service marketing, it could be a service chat that happened with a customer and a transcript that's a long transcript of a phone call, and a quick summary could be generated within a matter of seconds. And what would have taken probably in 40 minutes or an hour for somebody to go through that transcript and write up now takes a matter of seconds. And similarly, in supply chain, there could be a synopsis of a negotiation, for instance, an example. There are numerous examples like this across the board, and we are shipping all of this out of the box when in Fusion AI agent platform. Now, answering. So you want to be able to do more than just the simple request response type of agents many times. You want to have answers generated or a question answers happening over a piece of document or a piece of business context. So this would be something like you're taking a benefits document and an employee is asking questions, or it could be a contract, a large document that's there in front of you, and you want to upload it and say, I want to be able to ask some questions. And that would be far more efficient to get your answer instead of going through a large PDF and finding the answer yourself. So this really saves time and empowers users to do things that have not been possible before or that would have taken much longer to do before. And again, a few examples of how what we are shipping. You could think of it as a benefits agent, like I said. You could upload a benefit document and ask questions about it or compare a couple of benefits documents over a period of last year and this year, saying how your benefits have changed and what you're paying, what coverage do you have, what is included within the policies of the benefits that you're covered, and so on. Similarly, in sales and service and marketing, you could have a knowledge search agent. A knowledge base has a lot of articles for many companies, essentially, and you want to be able to empower your customers, whether it's self-service or a service agent, can quickly use a knowledge-based document and be able to ask questions and get answers to it and respond to customer complaints or a customer conversation very quickly. And numerous examples abound in supply chain as well on this. So all of these agents are, again, taking a particular business context, a document that you can upload, and immediately the document is vectorized, and we'll get into that detail as you'll see in the demonstrations, and ask semantically relevant questions. These are not just keyword kind of responses. These are questions you can ask at a deep level in natural language, and you can get answers back that are semantically relevant to the topic that you asked about. So these are capabilities which are not available to enterprise users anytime before. And that's the power of generative AI and RAG-based agents, the retrieval augmented generation-based agents here. Now we get on to the kind of agents that you really start to see using tools and the variety of business objects and tools that you can leverage within. So these build on top of the other two types of agents that we talked about. They could be generating context, they could be summarizing something, they could be answering questions based off of a document in the retrieval augmented generation type case, and yet also calling other tools within that are available and answering questions or taking a particular action within the system. So not only they are answering and generating a response, but they could be taking a particular action on the system itself. So this is where decisioning, planning, all of these complex tasks that are typically reserved for humans become possible. Now, you could also include a human in the task in this loop and say, if it's a very important decision that's being made, you want a human in the loop, and the human should be giving approval that the agent can proceed. They can review it and give approval or not. And we'll see a variety of tools that are in action here as we go through. There are different types of agentic patterns that we support. hierarchical agents and single agents with tools are already available or will be available pretty soon. And we're also building support for other agentic patterns like sequential agents and so on, and many more to come in the future. Now, the kind of problems that these reasoning agents can solve include, for instance, a new hire onboarding agent. This is one of my kind of favorites. You can create a tool or an agent that essentially delegates a lot of tasks to new hire for a new hire will experience, like what are the company's policies with respect to a particular thing? What is the culture of the company? What are some questions you can ask about the business or any other essential resources regarding how to order some supplies or something about facilities and so on. So this agent team can be specialized and answer questions in a variety of ways that really a new employee would probably struggle and spend hours trying to finding an answer for this. So there are a variety of these kinds of agent teams that can be put together, and not only in human resources, but sales, service, marketing, and supply chain as well, that really bring together all of the complex workflows that are typically being done through a manual processes today and take hours perhaps to deliver. And now they can be automated and deliver value within a matter of seconds. So all of this comes together in the AI Agent Studio. Agent Studio is really built to deliver all the promise that's been talked about for agents in a matter of seconds. You can build agents very quickly here because we are shipping pre-built templates, and you can extend those agents that we are shipping. You can also build your own custom agents, and you can test and validate those agents and deploy them in production. All of this while ensuring that there is security and trust, and you can explain what's going on behind the scenes as well to whoever is using it. So there's a lot of transparency built in, there's a lot of trust that's built in, and a lot of power, in fact, to include a human in the loop as well. So you'll see the screen many times over in Agent Studio, and these are what you're seeing on the screen are a bunch of templates that we ship with. These represent all the agents that I talked about just now in the variety of agents, whether it's a simple author agent or an answer agent or an action agent. And these templates span the gamut of that. And you can instantiate these agent templates and create your own agents from here. And we'll see examples of this throughout the day today. Here's a simple way to think of an agent team where it's an help desk supervisor agent. That's a team really, where it can answer questions about payroll. It can answer questions about the vacation policies that are there or benefits that are there, and it's able to and it can help you communicate those policies with an email or through Slack and so on. So this is an example of an agent team that can really do many tasks. So it's a multi-agent team, in fact. And for each task, the supervising agent knows which of the agents that it is underneath it can really perform that task. So you can give it a generic task, and it will go and pick the right agent and deliver that particular task automation to you. So that's the power of sort of an agent team working together. So it can do a set of tasks that are really coordinated and are bringing together a large complex workflow. What would have taken several different steps and several different screens now gets automated, and you can all interact through it through a very simple sort of workflow. So these are pre-configured templates that we deploy, and you can instantiate many agents, and you'll see a lot of examples of this today through my colleagues, they will show to you. Now let's get into some of the capabilities of these agents. So they natively, I think what Chris pointed out here, they access Fusion business objects and APIs, and there are many rules that can be configured, and they'll use all those all the tools that are available to it to deliver value out of the box, right? So these you can create. These have been pre-built connections. There have been pre-built tools that are available to you to deploy, and these agents come with data governance built in. They respect the security and role-based access controls, and they really respect your enterprise data protection and privacy. This is all built in, and it's not really bolted on to it. So that's the power of this platform. And you'll see that in action throughout a variety of examples today. You'd start working with a prompt, right? So there are system prompts. So each agent, what you'll do is when you start building it, you need to prompt that agent. You need to give some instructions. So here's an example of a prompt that tells the agent what it is supposed to do. Each agent has a certain persona to it, a scope of what it can and cannot do, and the tools it can access and what each of those tools can do. So it's got a scope, it's got a purpose, and it accomplishes a particular set of tasks. And also within this prompt, what you can do is you can specify the boundary and the context for that particular agent. So what it really can do and what kind of tools it can access and what those tools accomplish. And you'll see numerous examples of this as we go through today. And this can work across a variety of languages, and you'll see that it can access a numerous amount of tools and accomplish a particular task. So this really delivers task automation. So the tools that are available that an agent can access, there are a variety of them, and you'll see examples of this today. You can, for instance, there's a document tool. You can upload structured, unstructured documents, and you can do retrieval on top of it. You can do search on top of it. You can have an answer that's embedded and retrieve an answer from it. There is email tools that you can enable an agent to write a particular set of emails and send them to a human recipient, because you're composing a marketing email, for instance. That could be an example of that. And they can connect through external REST tool any interface that really operates with a public REST interface. And this is incredibly powerful, right? There are so many tools that are available through REST interfaces. And what this agentic pattern allows for you to do is connect to those tools and accomplish a particular task. And you'll see numerous examples of that today. And there are general tools like calculator tool, because you want to compute something and you want to be able to accomplish a particular calculation as part of your task. Now, you want to be able to operate on data that's within the context, right? So that's the power of this business object tool. You can access any Fusion business object through OpenAPI and provide that endpoint and configure that request response to accomplish a particular task. So you can set up parameters. You can use slot filling to essentially put the right values into those slots and have the LLM call that right tool at the right time to get or to accomplish a particular task. So you'll see numerous examples of this, and we have seeded our tools with all the business objects that help you accomplish those tasks, whether it's sending an email, whether it is configuring a particular function that it needs to accomplish. These are respecting the data security and ensuring that data integrity is respected within that particular application, so that they're not operating out of the bounds of that. So it's all built in and really not really bolted on like you would see in many other cases. And you'll see numerous examples of this. You can take post, patch, delete operations, and you can really create a complex scenario with with any of these tools that are available, and the data security really stays intact. You can also include a human in the loop. You can say, well, for this particular action to take place, I want an approval from a human agent, a human. So it will pause for human response and make sure that the human has reviewed it and be able to give their consent on that and then proceed with it. So there's numerous tasks that you can see where complete automation is possible, or where you'll pause for a particular human to give action, allow for a particular action to take place. A document tool is incredibly powerful because you can upload a variety of documents that are then processed, and you can ask numerous questions off of that document. So the semantic search that is possible on top of this document really enables you to ask very complex questions and accomplish complex tasks. An example could be a large benefits document or a contract document that you're really using to ground the answer based on that. And really, it allows for powerful automation that you'll see in numerous examples that my colleagues will show later on. An external REST tool. This provides a specific REST endpoint you can specify and create a connection to it. And you can show example queries to the large language models that how it can use that particular connection to query and with example parameters so that it can accomplish a particular task. And when you're asking a particular query as part of your agentic experience, then the large language model knows how to use those REST tools and the right with parametric examples that have been given and accomplish a particular task. This is incredibly powerful because so many tools now become possible to be accessed from within this Agent Studio. And you'll see numerous examples of that today as we'll go through. Human in the loop is really important. It's many tasks still want or require a human to be reviewing a lot of the decisions that are being made. You want oversight over it, and giving the human control is very important aspect of it. So we have incorporated that natively built into AI Studio is a human intervention that can collaborate with the agents and give their consent after reviewing what's going on. And this will also create a trail that a particular person has really updated and given consent to what is going on and the decisions being made. One of the areas that you will see is quality evaluations. So how do you know that agent is accomplishing a particular task well or doing a particular task well? So testing and evaluating a particular agent before it's launched, before it's put into production, is really important. And you want to be confident because it's taking actions on your behalf. And we've built tools into the Agent Studio that give a tremendous amount of capabilities to you as the agent builder to define these parameters on which the agent will operate and ensure that the quality is being delivered. So at design time, in test time, you can test out with numerous example queries and ensure that the agent is operating in the parameters that you've specified. And you can measure those. It can be correctness, it can be latency, it can be the safety parameters that bounds that you've set. So here you're seeing an example of an agent that's being tested for an expected response and what the actual response is. And there is what we're including with our agentic quality evaluations is an automated way of testing this. But there's a human way of judging and assigning a score to that as well. So there's a particular expected response, and there's an actual response against which an LLM is really looking at the responses and measuring and grading that particular agent that you've put into testing. And once you're sure that it's doing the job that it's intended to do, you can put it into production. And you can monitor that in production as well. And this gives you confidence before you're deploying agents because they are accomplishing a business task for you. We have a metrics reporting dashboard that's will show you the performance of the agent, the quality that it's adhering to or not, and the time it's taking to resolve certain queries. Maybe it's taking too long or it's operating within the parameters. You want to know. Every single query will be captured and displayed here. So there's one aspect of the testing which happens before launch, and one that's monitoring once you launch it and it's in production. And you'll see examples of that as we launch these capabilities. Agent tracing is really important concept, which is because the agents are going through a lot of different steps. So you want to be able to understand what an agent is doing on a particular query. So it's a step-by-step walkthrough of a particular query, and you want to be sure it's answering it properly. Or you want to use this as a debugging tool to understand if an agent has gone off the track somewhere and it's not doing the job. So you want to understand where it went off the track. So it's a very granular, fine-grained look into what an agent is doing. And you'll see examples of that as we go through it today. Now it's a quick overview of what's being delivered in summer and fall, and there are a tremendous amount of capabilities. So I'll walk through a few of the areas within Agent Studio, the platform itself, and the abilities to monitor and debug. So what's coming up in summer is essentially single agent or multi-agent tools and human in the loop approval, and the patterns that we'll support essentially through the Agent Studio, the variety of hierarchical agents or single agents or multi-agent patterns that we'll support. And in the fall, you will see more varieties of those patterns, and from sequential agents that can be chained together and agents that can be created using just natural language prompts. So we want to make agent creation as easy as possible. So we'll be giving an ability to sort of specify a particular task and be able to create an agent extremely quickly. And when you come to the agent platform, you will see tools in summer that are REST tools that will access any particular web service defined by an endpoint. And you can invoke these agents from any external resource. You can bring your own large language model if you want to do. We recognize that many customers and partners might operate from a large language model of their choice, which we may not yet support. And so you can bring that. And as you move into fall, we want to bring more advanced capabilities, like, for instance, auditing. You want to be able to walk through you want to see what has happened in a particular agent as it was executing, and we want to bring those capabilities. You want to be able to have common integrations and connectors, like numerous ones, like search. You want to access external tools. You want to have integration with numerous other tools that are not just within our sort of orbit. Maybe you're integrating with something outside. You want to be able to send emails. You want to be able to integrate into popular things like Teams and so on and so forth. So you will get all those integration capabilities as part of in the fall. We also recognize that multimodality is a big aspect of it. You should be able to ask questions off of a particular chart. What's going on in this? Maybe it's a sales chart. Maybe it's a part it's a from manual image that's showing how a part works, and you want to be able to ask questions off of that. So multimodality, we recognize the strong need for that, and we'll be introducing that in the fall. And MCP is this Model Context Protocol, which is becoming incredibly popular and powerful, so that we will incorporate that capability so that you can connect to Model Context Protocol based servers, so that you can access other tools that are living outside of our sort of Fusion universe and be able to sort of talk to them in a seamless way. And that will really open up the universe of possibilities here. In terms of end user experience, initially we'll start out with English, but we'll support all languages possible in the fall. And you can upload files in chat and be able to ask questions of it. And this will leverage, of course, other things you should be able to upload a PDF document, and you should be able to ask questions off of that. And we'll be able to support these agents in Microsoft Teams and so on. I already talked about monitoring and the power of these tools. You need to be able to debug these tools, right? So we want to be able to give you the power of tracing an agent call before you put it into production. Being able to monitor how an agent is performing in production, being able to evaluate an agent before you put it into production, and so on. So there'll be numerous tools available for you to evaluate these agents before they go into production and as they are in production as well. And an important aspect of that's coming up very soon is guardrails. We realize that guardrails are very important in the context of agents because they're operating autonomously. Now, they could be subject to attacks like prompt injection and so on, and they need to be guarded from toxic content as well, because you don't want agent going off and saying things that is not appropriate to a particular human user and taking actions that are not allowed in the system. So we'll be introducing guardrails in a variety of ways for you to protect an agent from doing only what it's supposed to do and not going off the rails. Now, last but not the least, it's an important aspect that we are building into our agent platform is we're introducing hundreds of embedded sort of features and agents which you'll get out of the box. But also we recognize that may or may not satisfy the entire gamut of needs that you'll have. So we're introducing an ability to create your own, and you can launch those agents however you want in your own workflows. So there will be a lot of embedded functionality, which will be out of the box with pre-built agent templates and the LLMs that we are hosting in OCI, like Llama and Cohere and so on. And they will be used to accomplish tremendous amount of tasks, the kind of examples that I've already shared here and you'll see throughout the day today. And those are all included at no charge. You'll be able to modify those prompts and use the guardrails, all the capabilities that have been mentioned. At the same time, you'll be able to use advanced models in certain cases where you need to be able to do a lot of reasoning, advanced reasoning, and coordinate between multiple agents and so on. And you'll be using GPT models like 4.1 and so on in that context. There'll be a certain amount of limitations in terms of tokens, and you can still get a tremendous amount of benefit from the embedded AI that's included with Fusion Apps. Now, but we also recognize the need for a custom AI, which is all the agents that we're shipping, so many of them, they may or may not exactly meet the needs that a customer might have or a partner might have. So we recognize the need for that, and we give you the ability to really customize these agents from scratch. You can build your own agent teams, you can build your own agents and launch them. Or you can modify the out-of-the-box agents that are available with extensions, with new tools that you want to add, with new REST services, external REST services, or talk through MCP servers to other agents that are available somewhere else. We recognize that extensibility is a key part of it. And that will form core of a custom AI, that'll become a custom AI agent at that point. And you can use OpenAI GPT-4 models as well, and with much higher token limits that will be included. And that depends on how much you kind of spend and what you're purchasing and so on. And you can bring your own LLM of your choice if you are not satisfied with the LLMs that we are offering. And we'll be expanding that bouquet of offering throughout and so on. But you will be also able to bring your own LLMs, and you can, because there could be LLMs that are good at a particular task that you are interested in, or there could be LLMs that are operating in other parts of the world that we have not yet incorporated. So you can bring your own LLM if you want. And we recognize the need for multimodality. Image generation, voice-based agents, the sky is the limit, really. And you can build all those agents in the future as we expand these capabilities. But we also recognize that those are more advanced capabilities. So they'll become part of the custom AI tier. The pricing, we strive to make it as predictable as possible through essentially a concept of a user or an employee-based agent seats. So that will give you a fixed price per month, essentially. And it's unlike many other models out there, which don't give you that predictability and don't give you that control over your spend. So we're introducing pricing which is highly predictable, which will be, you can understand it very clearly and very simply, and at the same time build custom agents that satisfy your needs if you want. And if you don't need custom agents, then you can get incredible amount of value from the embedded AI and the Fusion apps that are shipping with the Fusion apps and so on. So with that, I will pause and transfer it over back to Prasanna. I think you will share the next part of the agenda.
Thank you. Let me share my screen. Well, that was amazing. Thanks, Kaushal. So many AI features embedded into Fusion apps. And I think folks on the call, we as a trusted SI partners, hope we can help our customers literally starting today, right after this workshop, get them started on the features. Let's not wait for 25C. There's a lot that you can start on today. Hey, a quick reminder, please. If you have questions, please put it in the Q&A panel. I know there was a little bit of an issue when the Q&A panel disappeared, but I think that's been fixed. So please do not use the chat. Please put your question in the Q&A panel. Also, I saw several folks raising the hands. We won't be able to take the questions live. So, please just put your question in the Q&A channel. No need to raise your hands. Also, where to get the recordings, can I get the draft, all those fun things we'll cover in the wrap-up. And before you depart, you will be able to download the drafts, everything you saw in today's training workshop. Only thing that will be pending would be the recording that will be uploaded in next 24 to 48 hours. But we'll cover all of that in the wrap-up, so don't worry about it, and we'll cover that. Really quick, before we get into the next topic, quiz time. Let me share a couple of questions. We'll spin off the Zoom poll, and so you guys can answer the question. So let me just start with the first question. What is the primary capability of the author feature in the Oracle AI for Fusion apps? It's a single select. Option A, embedded intelligent content to enhance the productivity. B, contextual guidance to automate knowledge-heavy tasks. C, intelligent enterprise deployable autonomous AI agents. And D, customize and extend agents in Agent Studio. Let me start the poll. Let me move the window. If you can, please answer the question. We'll give another 10 seconds. Wow, so many answers. Gosh, folks are still responding. Maybe 5 more seconds. All right, that's it. I'm gonna end the poll. I'll share the results just for fun of it. The correct answer is answer A, authoring. the embedded features, intelligent content, and to enhance the productivity. Option A, and Kaushal talked about it, gave the example for HCM, such as creating job posting or providing quick feedback. For supply chain, it was, I think, doing like a summarization, shift summaries, things like that. So option A was the right answer. I think several folks missed that. Let me start with the next, maybe an easier question. Stop sharing, give me a minute. The next question is, which of these is not a delivered tool in the Agent Studio? Document, B, calculator, C, email, and D, reasoning engine. Let me relaunch the poll. All right, please provide your answer. And I realize some of you may need to move the poll window a little bit on the side so you can see the question as well as ability to answer. So please move it manually to side of the screen and provide your answers. Okay. All right, 5 more seconds. I'm going to end the poll and I'll share the results. When we get into the deep dive with JT next, I think we'll cover this in detail, but this was one of the easier questions. We are going to deliver document tools so you can build RAG agents. The calculator tool, the email tool is baked in. There is no such thing as reasoning engine yet in the current roadmap. So option D was the right answer. 50% of you did get that correct. So thanks for providing the feedback. We'll do one last question and then we'll move on. Let me go to the next slide. The last question here. Which capability is focused on autonomous AI agents? A, author, B, answer, C, action, and D, assemble. Let me relaunch the poll. All right, please provide your feedback. Amazing. I see more than 50% of you are answering this question. So this is huge. I'm gonna end the poll and we'll share the results. I guess technically C and D may be right based on what we just heard Kaushal talk about. Answer C, action, will be the right answer, where you can have autonomous AI agents to actually take action on the user task. So, all right, I'll stop sharing. The next topic for us is going to be JT giving us deep dive into the Agent Studio. JT, to you, please.
Thanks, Prasanna. Okay, so